Well, it's now time to bring you the part two of our interview segment on the show with Dr. Chijioke Ikechukwu. We are looking at Nigeria's external reserves, analyzing the state of the economy through this lens, as it fell further by $175 million in February to hit $39.9 billion, despite the upturn in the price of crude oil, the country's main source of foreign exchange. Now, according to latest data from the Central Bank of Nigeria, the external reserves, which closed at $40.52 billion in December last year, dropped to $40.04 billion at the end of January this year, following a boost of over $7 billion from international debt issuance and the International Monetary Fund's special drawing rights allocation in the third quarter of 2021. Well, joining me now via phone to discuss this and much more, I have Dr. Chijioke Ikechukwu. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. Let's first of all have your analysis of the play out we're having here in terms of the external reserves, the fluctuations we've seen within this first quarter of the year, irrespective of the price surge which has been facilitated by the Ukraine-Russia tensions.
The play out we're having here in terms of the external reserves, the fluctuations we've seen within this first quarter of the year, irrespective of the price surge which has been facilitated by the Ukraine-Russia tensions.
Okay. External reserves are dropping right now. But of course, there are a whole lot of reasons why the thing is happening. This is happening, you know. So I want to believe that because of the number of reasons, you know, it becomes a little difficult for government to really take charge of most of the things that are happening. Of course, you know, we are a net importer of goods and services, and we have been on this for such a long time. We are running a trade deficit of about 1.87 trillion. And having said this, we have not been generating enough foreign exchange from all that we're doing. Oil still remains the greatest revenue generating sector for us. And having had issues, we have not been producing optimally to our installed capacity. Right now, we're producing about 1.4 million barrels per day, as against when we used to produce about 2.2, and of course our capacity is about 2.5 million tons barrels a day. So if all these things are the problems, and of course, you know, so because of the fuel subsidy that is existing, it is actually difficult for us to take good advantage of the situation we are finding today, where the oil price has actually increased. You know, so other countries that are oil producers that are not importing petroleum products are actually taking full advantage of the high oil price right now, but we are not, you know, because we have to pay so much for the subsidy that is actually going on. So those are the issues that are really affecting us, and we need to deal with these issues before we can start benefiting from what the situation is right now. We are not benefiting from it because oil is as high as up to $130 dollars per barrel, but we are not benefiting from that because we are paying as much for the imported products that we're importing right now. So that's the issue.
Okay, now, and I like the fact that you bring in focus the fact that we have to still subsidize petrol imports at this point in time. But looking at the Ukraine-Russia tensions as well, the global shock it's having, these shocks are beyond our control. Hence, the external reserves will likely experience a little more volatility. Do you think there is any way we can possibly manage through this storm? We had lessons learned from COVID-19 and now this tension. How do you think we can minimize the impact of such global tensions and the magnitude of such impact?
Yeah, we need to concentrate a lot on our exports. We need to concentrate a lot on our exports and ensure that we reduce our imports, encourage exports, and reduce our imports. We need to have major benefits as a country to ensure that we generate
Well, we apologize for that poor network there with Dr. Chijioke Ikechukwu. We were analyzing the state of the Nigerian economy through the lens of the external reserves. Well,